one. Oh man, I'm going to the Champions League. Oh baby. Woo! I'm going to the Champions League. And this is the United States National High School League. What? Oh man, I messed it up. Okay, you know who we are. We're the starting 11 for the United States National High School Champions League. And I got Jimmy Hart on the phone.
What is up, Kevin?
I just got goofy. I just got goofy.
That's how who who doesn't get goofy once in a while.
All right. Have at it, man. Here's your
O-
five.
Okay, all right. Well, let's do this. Should we talk about our sponsors at the end or at the beginning?
I can't wait to talk about select soccer ball because
Hit
the
it.
select soccer ball starts it all. It starts the Champions League. It starts making the virtuoso. It starts the ideal that, hey man, I got select this, I got select that. Everything you need on the soccer pitch and for your soccer team is from Select Sports America, our proud national sponsor, Select, and our man who's going to be on the airwaves tomorrow, Tim McAvoy, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow, that's amazing. And
That was right off the
Tim,
cuff. That was right off
t-
the cuff. No, no
you're a
rehearsal.
genius. You're a show business pro, man.
All right, then.
You're you're a show business pro. Listen, people run up to you asking for autographs during the show. If you could just ask them to wait, it's only going to be 11 minutes. You
Yeah.
know. So, so the other sponsor we have today is Coolidge. That's spelled Qoollegee. Coolidge, the hottest new AI powered college selection service in America. And Coolidge is also the sponsor of the High School Champions League website. Check them out. Go to Coolidge for all your college needs. And between Coolidge and our other college sponsor, Nagel College Planning, we've got the college needs covered from the High School Champions League. So, Kevin, story number one. This is such monumental news. I've struggled to think of a story in the history of the High School Champions League that is going to be more monumental than this one. So fasten your seatbelts, everybody. Listen to this. Okay, first the story goes, we go back to 2021, Tampa Bay, Loci Capital Champions League final. The MVP of the semifinal and final is a guy who played for Tampa Prep named Santiago Castaneda. We have talked about him here on the starting 11 before. Santi went from Tampa Prep and winning the Champions League straight on to the Tampa Bay Rowdies. From there, he went to Duisburg in Germany in the German Bundesliga 3. From there, he went to Paderborn in Germany, Bundesliga 2. Well, yesterday Paderborn completed a two-game set with Wolfsburg for promotion into the Bundesliga, and Paderborn won the two-game set over Wolfsburg with a score of 2-1. And now we have a player from our Champions League movement that will be appearing next year in the Bundesliga, one of the top five leagues in the world.
Wow.
I mean, this is in just literally 5 years ago. He was he was the MVP of the Tampa Bay Champions League. If Select Sport America had a virtuoso award in 2021, Santiago would have won it.
Wow, man. Wow.
it's one of those you got to let sink in. You just
Oh,
got to.
exactly. Yeah. Wow.
So and I'll just add that Santi's made his debut for U.S. under 21 national team, and it would not surprise me if we one day see Santiago playing in a World Cup for the U.S. That's not a promise, of course. That takes time. There's a lot of things that have to happen before that happens. But Santiago's on that trajectory. He's a national team player. The other thing is that Santi is, he has started a path that has being followed by others. I know that Matty Di Maria has appeared for the U.S. national under youth U.S. international teams, and uh, and there are others that will follow that path. So ta Santi did an article with Soccer America about a year ago, and in this article he stated that had he not played high school soccer, he doesn't think he'd be where he is today because high school soccer reinvigorated the love of the game for him that had been fading in some of the drudgery of the youth soccer that he was playing. So Santi's given his props to high school soccer. High school soccer promotes Santi, and it's a beautiful story. Story number one. I'd almost want to stay on this story the whole time, but I guess before we move on to story number two, Kev, anything else?
I I I can't say nothing. I can't. This is unbelievable.
Yeah, it's a great story. Okay, story number two was inspired by your guest host yesterday, Dave Ehrenberg, who went through a public school versus private school breakdown of the St. Louis Champions League. Well, this is an abbreviated version. Dave went into Final Four and all of those teams. I'm just going to go through the champions of the Tampa Bay Loci Capital Champions League. Okay, we've had eight Champions Leagues for the boys and four for the girls. On the boys' side, private schools have won five of those eight, with Jesuit High School winning three of them and Tampa Prep winning two of them. And public schools have won three, with Eastlake High School, the very first winner, and then Palm Harbor University the last two winners and the current champions and on a 2-year run as Champions League champions. So 5-3 in favor of the private schools. But on the girls' side, there have been four, and all four have been public schools. Palm Harbor won the first one, Sun Lake High School, followed by a 2-year run of Newsom High School, all four public school teams. And so that's the Tampa Bay breakdown. I found that very interesting, what Dave talked about yesterday. And I'm going to gather numbers for future calls from Polk County and South Florida so we could add to this interesting statistical story. That's number two.
Wow.
Story number three is about the great Mark Ferguson of Ferg's Sports Bar. So people from St. Louis and other parts of the country may or may not have heard of Ferg Sports Bar. Ferg Sports Bar is in St. Petersburg, Florida. It was recently voted the number one local sports bar in America. Now, the reason Ferg's is on this show today is because Ferg Sports Bar is also the running host of the Tampa Bay Top 10 Champions League draw. And we've had our draw at Ferg's 3 years running. And we just found out that we are going to be back there again for year number four. And also, we've had for 3 years running coverage at Ferg's by Mike Rickard and the Tampa St. Pete Sports Connection. Mike has done live radio from the Tampa Bay Draw for 3 consecutive years, and that is going to continue next year. So we just locked that up. It will be in February 2027. Ferg Sports Bar, leading sports bar in America, also host of the Champions League draw in Tampa. And if I can just put a teaser in there, we may have some interesting information about Ferg's in upcoming versions of the starting 11. Thank you, Mark Ferguson. And thank you, Mike Rickard, for the live radio coverage. We also may have some interesting information about Mike in upcoming starting 11. Be on the lookout for that. Story number 4. Okay, so the starting 11 host guest host stable is expanding. Okay, so now I believe this is our 17th version of the show here today. And I've been the co-host with Kevin the most probably so far. Well, not probably, definitely. We've also had Terry Mickler, and you've also heard Dave Ehrenberg, who joined the stable yesterday. Well, this is major news that I'm about to break here. The host stable is expanding. We know about Tim McAvoy. He'll be in there tomorrow from Select Sport America and also the St. Louis Soccer Hall of Fame. But I'm here to tell you today, Kevin, that you will be joined this summer, the dates to be announced, by Tom Byer from Tokyo, Japan, who's going to be joining you across the Pacific Ocean, talking high school soccer. Tom Byer is one of the leading influencers in soccer in the world. There was recently a New York Times story done, which was leading influencers of the sport of soccer in the world, top 6. Tom Byer was one of those. And he is going to join you, as well as from New York City, the Big Apple, David Rica is going to join you. We don't have those dates yet set. David is dialing into the Champions League movement on a national scale. He's joined the movement and he's looking to expand our footprint throughout the country. David and Tom are easily searchable online. I recommend people go and do it so they can find out who these people are that will be sitting with Kevin. But that's story number 4. 2 real big timers joining our stable. Oh, and by the way, I don't want to leave out Dave Wilson, the great Dave Wilson. Dave Wilson is going to be signed up starting a week from today, Kevin. David is going to be there every Tuesday through the summer. So I don't know what's happening, Kevin, but I just know it's growing and it's getting bigger. So let's see what happens. Kevin, let's move on to story number 5, which is the Tampa St. Louis connection. The Tampa St. Louis High School Champions League connection continues to grow. As I've reviewed the stories that we've gone over, we come across certain pieces, they talk about connecting the dots, right? Certain dots. One of them is the great Perry Vanderbeck, the one responsible for bringing the Champions League to St. Louis. One of them is you and I talking with each other right now. Well, one of them is the Tampa Bay Rowdies and the president of the Rowdies appearing on the Whale Certified podcast. One of them is Dave Wilson and Dave Wilson appearing on a Whale Certified podcast. One of them is Jorge Chavo Prada, who, by the way, that's another one, Kevin, I should have included in the story before. Chavo is going to join you as a guest host sometime this summer. And Chavo's going to he's the proprietor of the Concha Kings Instagram site that covers the Tampa Bay Champions League here in Tampa Bay. So the St. Louis Tampa Bay connection is strong. And I am hearing rumors, Kevin. It's not for me to say, but I am hearing rumors that connection will be getting stronger in the coming months. Let's just leave it at that. And so those are our 5 stories. I think I've gone over 11 minutes today. I apologize for that. I hope people understand the enthusiasm about all 5 of these stories. But I'm going to be quiet now, Kev, and throw it back to you.
Oh, baby. Hey, just for full disclosure, Chavo was early whale certified. He got his feet wet early.
Well, that's awesome. Well, he's going to be bringing his take on the starting 11 sometime this summer. Something to look for.
And so how does this sound? Kevin Sante Whalen.
I love it.
All right, man. Hey, it's only gonna get better, and that's the thrill of the starting 11. Is that, hey, man? It just goes, and then you got the starting 11, but we got a whole bench. We got 20 something people. We're bringing it. We're bringing
Sure
it.
we are. Sure we are. Sure we are. Hey, I can't promise anything. Who knows?
Right.
But you know what? One day, who knows that you won't be sitting on the starting 11 with a member of a Bundesliga team? Who knows?
Yeah.
One thing I do know is that we are going to cover the promotion to the Bundesliga of Santiago Castaneda all next year. So that'll be something to look forward to. And hopefully that'll inspire a few others to say, hey, if why not me?
That's right. And that's the same way with having the Champions League in your city. Why not?
Yes.
I mean, why don't we have one? So come on, folks, come on. Let's go to the Champions League. Let's go.
Yes, sir. Well, listen, have a great show with Tim McAvoy and Select tomorrow. And I will see you again on Thursday, Kevin.
All right, then. And ladies and gentlemen, this has been the United States National High School Champions League starting 11.